Hey everyone, good morning. Good morning, Robbie the Painter here. Beautiful day here in the mountains. And I thought since I hadn't put up a video in a little while, I'd show you some of the projects that I've been working on, give you guys an update. So let's take a look at some of the things I've been working on. Glad you're here. So when we last left off, I was working on this boulder, handmade boulder. It's gonna have water coming out of the top. I'm gonna seal up that opening except for a sheet of water that's coming out. I think that's what I'm picturing in my mind. And that's where we left off. And I told you I had other projects going on. I do, besides being a caretaker and doing all that stuff, you know, I gotta have some fun too. So I haven't done much on this boulder since that last video. I did do a little bit. So let's take a walk over to this side and I'll show you what I was working on where I left off. And I kind of changed up the design on the texture of the rock. A little different look than the other side, and I'll show you the contrast. Still no paint on the rock. I've got more to do. I've got to finish this top area, make some boulder looking things and rock shapes and that kind of thing. But I really like the way this is turning out here. You can see the different rock face looks. And here's that little seat. If you saw episode, I believe it was 2, where I was doing the construction, I said there was going to be a little seat there. You can also use that to climb up on this boulder. Some really cool look to this boulder, handmade boulder. And I'm liking the way it's turning out. And once it gets paint on everything, I think it's really gonna look cool. I haven't decided on what colors yet. You know, I know a guy that's a painter. This Robbie guy, he might be able to paint this boulder. We might get crazy with the colors and maybe we'll go traditional. I'm almost seeing kind of dark with mossy stuff on it. I think that'll really stand out, but I haven't decided yet. Let's walk around over here. And again, this chain link is all going to be gone as soon as I get done fencing in the rest of the yard. And if we turn around here, here's that door. Let's back up here. Here's that door that gives access inside the waterfall. And right now I'm using it as storage for all the pond supplies. All these boxes on the left-hand side, pond liner. I've also got the cloth, I forget what kind of cloth it is, that you lay down and then you put your rubber liner, but it's a protective padding that you put down against the dirt and it protects against rocks and things like that poking through the liner. And then here's the side that I think you guys saw last on the video where we left off. And I do like this look. There's a lot more cracks and texture on it, but I sort of changed my mind as I was going around the other side. So I'm either gonna make the other side look like this here or vice versa. I haven't decided yet. So everything's open. So if I flip the camera around, I'll show you the white farm fencing that I've been working on lately. I stopped working on the waterfall. Winter is coming and I felt the pressure that I needed to get some of this fencing done. So let's take a look up here. Started there in the corner. Of course, last year I built all the cedar fencing around the entire back of the property and down both sides. And then in the front, I wanted that open look, but I want to be able to keep the dogs in. The dogs have never been in the front yard because they take off running. Yeah, and then I got to go chase them. So I wanted something that was going to keep the dogs in the yard. And I love this farm fencing look, but I thought it needs something on it so the dogs can't get out. So this is a welded wire mesh that's vinyl coated in black. And I think you can get green and tan and different colors, but this is actually welded wire. and it's going to stand up against, you know, predators and the dogs trying to get out and other things. And then I use these stainless steel clamps with stainless steel screws, and I just started screwing those in and cutting these. This welded wire comes in a roll, and you just measure it out in between the two posts, and then I would make a cut and then cut the next piece. So I think this is about where I stopped the last time you guys saw. When I was working on the waterfall, I kind of panned around and showed where I was at on the fencing. I'd stopped right about here. I don't think these rails were up, and for sure this wire wasn't on, because I only received this about a week and a half ago. So I've been out here cutting and putting up this wire as I'm building the fence. So as I flip the camera around, and then you can see the bridge over here, and then I built a custom gate just out of some wood scrap. Basically, I built a box and then put a bracing bar across right here, screwed it all together, found a latch and lock system online. This pops open, the gate opens up, and it closes on its own. It's got some springs in the hinge system here. And here's the outside of the gate. And I've got a piece of vinyl screwed into the wood, top and bottom. I need to do both sides this way, and then a piece across the middle there. And then that gate will be done. And I kept putting in fencing. So this is the other view here. So this is what you guys haven't seen. And I've been digging holes, pouring concrete, mixing concrete, leveling, making sure these posts are sitting level. It's not the perfect fence. It kind of zigzags a little bit. I'm not a fence builder. I'm Robbie the painter, that's all. You know, but I know how to use tools and that, so I figure things out as I go, and I think it turned out pretty good. We'll walk down here and I'll show you. My neighbor said, you need a rolling gate across your driveway. And I thought, man, I got to keep the dogs in. I know the fence will do that, but what do I do about a gate? So my neighbor ordered some steel, told me what I needed, and he's kind of an engineer by trade. Thank you, Augie, for all the work. And then he started cutting these pieces of square tubing and welding them together. And it's a 20-foot gate. And at the bottom, it's got wheels. And he welded this, he made this custom here, and then bought the wheels. I paid for all the parts and pieces, and he ordered what we needed. I just trusted him and said, you get me what I need. It was not that expensive overall. I think everything here is about $500. If I called a fence company and said, I want a 20-foot custom rolling gate. In fact, you guys check this out. Just call somebody up and ask them for a metal rolling gate, 20 feet wide, and see what they quote you. So I'm happy with the $500, $600 price. We did have to buy some hardware in that, so I'm probably about $600. And my neighbor's doing all the labor, basically for free. I'm gonna make sure he's taken care of at the end, but we help each other out around here. All my neighbors are great, you know. So I've been helping my neighbor with his projects. Anyway, this is the rolling gate, and then it needs something to roll on. So we've got, this is called angle iron right here, and it's angled. That wheel I showed you sets on this angle iron and rolls right there. So the wheel has a V in it, and that V sits here and rolls. And I've got 2 pieces. We just welded tabs. These have to be set into the concrete, and where it's going to go is from that post over to here. And then I had to pour a concrete track, a channel out of concrete, made sure that was level, 20 feet long, so that when the gate opens up, it rolls that way along the fence. And then I'll have a nice rolling gate here that'll keep the dogs in, and I think it'll look nice too. From the outside, the fence is really turning out good, guys. I'm glad that I did all the work by myself. Saved a ton of money. This fencing can get expensive in that, and if you have a company do it. My neighbor had a fence put in right down the road here, $40,000. Not this kind of fencing, but you get the idea. So I'm nowhere near that. I don't even have that kind of money. I'm spending $500 here, $500 there, getting a pallet of supplies and I'm only a few thousand into this whole thing. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for stopping by to say hi. Drop down in the comments, just say hi. Again, I'm sorry it's been a month since I put up a video. I've just been, work. I am taking time to rest. You guys don't worry about me. I'm all right. My wife is fine. She is my priority one, being a caretaker and making sure she's good. She has her good days and her bad days, and I take the best care of her that I can and make sure she's feeling good and doing well. So from both of us, thank you guys for being here, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.